There were 6 of us. Me, Rhea, Arjun, Dev, Maya, and Karthik. We just finished university finals and decided to celebrate with a weekend trip. No parents, no rules, just a borrowed SUV and a location Dev found on some obscure travel forum. A hidden lake in the hills. No resorts, no signal, no tourists, just forest. The locals called it Veil Water Lake, and according to one old comment buried in the forum thread, if you go as a group, don't count yourselves after sunset. We laughed at that part. We shouldn't have. The last fuel station before the forest was run by an old man with cataract-clouded eyes. When Dev mentioned Veil Water Lake, the man froze. "You staying overnight?" "Yeah," Arjun grinned. "Why?" The old man leaned forward. "The lake doesn't reflect properly after dark." We waited for him to explain. He didn't. Instead, he said quietly, "If one of you calls from the water, don't answer." We left laughing, but none of us laughed as loudly as before. The forest grew unnaturally quiet as we approached. No birds, no insects, even the wind seemed to thin out. Then we saw it. Veil Water Lake was massive, perfectly still, like polished black glass. No ripples, no movement, surrounded by dense trees that leaned slightly inward as if watching. The water reflected the sky perfectly, too perfectly. It looked deeper than it should have been. We set up camp near the shore. That was our first mistake. Around sunset, Maya pointed at the water. "Does that look weird to you?" We stood by the shore. The sky above us was orange and purple, but in the lake, it was already dark. Stars were visible in the reflection, even though none were in the real sky. "That's just how water works," Dev said quickly, but his voice sounded forced. When Arjun stepped closer to the edge, his reflection didn't move immediately. It was delayed, half a second behind him. We all saw it. We all pretended we didn't. After dinner, it got colder than it should have. The forest went silent again. Rhea suddenly said, "Just for fun, let's count." We all rolled our eyes. "Fine," I said. "1, 2, said Maya. 3, Arjun smirked. 4, Dev. 5, Rhea. We stopped. There were 6 of us. Karthik laughed nervously. "You skipped me." We counted again, slowly. This time, we got 6. We laughed it off, but I couldn't shake the feeling that for a second, there had been 7 shadows around the fire. At around midnight, we heard it, splashing, gentle at first, like someone walking waist-deep in water. We froze. The lake had been completely still all evening. Then, "Help!" It was Arjun's voice, coming from the lake. But Arjun was sitting next to me, his face drained of color. The voice came again. "Guys, I'm stuck." It was perfect, his exact tone. Rhea began to stand. I grabbed her wrist. The old man's words echoed in my head. "If one of you calls from the water, don't answer." The splashing stopped instantly. The lake returned to glass. But now, there was a figure standing knee-deep in the reflection, only in the reflection, not in real life. None of us remember falling asleep, but we woke up at 3:17 a.m., all at the same time. The fire was out, the forest was silent, and our tents were gone. Not destroyed, gone, as if they'd never existed. Our bags were still there, our phones, but the tents had vanished. Maya whispered, "Count."
We did. 6. Relief washed over us, until Dev said quietly,
Who moved the car? The SUV was now parked facing the lake. It hadn't been before. At dawn, we walked to the shore again, exhausted, shaken. And then, we saw it. Dev wasn't in the reflection. We stared at the lake. All 5 of us were reflected, but where Dev stood, there was empty space. "Stop messing around," he said, stepping closer. Still nothing. His reflection didn't exist. The water behind him was perfectly visible through where he should have been. Rhea started crying. Dev backed away slowly. "What does that mean?" The surface of the lake rippled for the first time. The ripples spread outward in perfect circles. Then the water darkened, and something rose slowly from beneath. It looked like Dev, but wrong. Its skin shimmered like liquid, its movement slightly delayed, its smile too wide. It stepped out of the lake without disturbing the surface. The real Dev stumbled back. "No." The copy tilted its head. "You came as 6, it said, in a voice layered with echoes. "You leave as 6. We didn't understand, until the copy grabbed Dev's wrist. The moment it touched him, he froze, like a paused video. The copy stepped backward into the lake, pulling Dev with it. The water swallowed them both silently. We screamed. We ran forward, but the lake was still again. Like nothing happened, we stood there in shock. 5 of us, breathing hard, crying. Maya whispered, "Count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We froze. There were 6 voices. Slowly, we turned. Dev was standing behind us, dripping wet, smiling. "You guys okay?" he asked casually. Relief crashed over Rhea as she hugged him, but I didn't move, because in the lake, there were 7 reflections we packed without speaking. No one mentioned the extra reflection. No one mentioned the voice. We just wanted to leave. As we drove out of the forest, the silence followed us. At the gas station, the old man looked at us carefully. "How many went?" 6, Arjun replied. "How many came back?" Dev answered before anyone else could. 6. The old man's eyes lingered on him. "Good," he said softly, but he didn't look convinced. Weeks passed. We tried to move on, until Maya called me one night, her voice shaking. I counted during a group call. There were 6 of us on video, 6 squares, 6 faces, but in Dev's camera, behind him, there was someone standing, smiling, a wet figure, perfectly still, watching. And when we asked Dev to turn around, he didn't respond. He was staring at his own screen, at something behind us, something we couldn't see. The call cut out. The next morning, Dev's number was disconnected. His apartment was empty. No records of him renting there, no university enrollment, no ID in the system. It was like he never existed. Except there are still 6 of us in every photo. And sometimes, when I stand near water, my reflection smiles before I do. And I always count, because Vale Water Lake doesn't take one of you. It replaces one of you, and it makes sure the number never changes.